The closure of meat processing plants across the country amid COVID-19 concerns is having an impact locally. As their supply dwindles, we're told tonight that Cashwise and Hornbacher's stores have placed limits on meat purchases. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly hears how one local restaurant is coping with the supply shortage.
Businesses are having to adapt due to the meat shortages across the country. Stores like Costco and Kroger began limiting the amount of ground beef that shoppers can buy. Restaurants like Wendy's have announced some of their menu items will be in short supply. Workers at the Fargo location confirming they are being impacted. Even local businesses are having to adjust.
With the really increased demand from grocery stores around the country, some of those resources have gone to retailers rather than wholesalers. So just making sure that we still have that same amount of product available to us.
When JL Beer's management heard about meat processing plants closing, they reached out to their suppliers.
And made sure that we had a contingency plan in place just in case that any of our suppliers weren't able to meet our orders or meet what we needed to make sure that we continue to operate as normal.
Due to the shortage, Ackley says they've seen a price increase and have been in contact with new suppliers to make sure they can meet demands.
We've actually been very lucky to find some suppliers locally in Minnesota that we've been able to get our beef products from.
Management says where they get their beef may change, but the quality won't, so the consumer will never see a difference. Ackley says it's about adapting to ensure they are still able to serve their customers. In West Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
Management also says the menu at JL Beers will not change during the pandemic. 11 attorneys general are urging the Department of Justice to start an investigation into suspected price fixing by meat packers. North Dakota Attorney General Wayne Stenjum is expressing his concern over the likelihood of manipulation of the market for processed beef. The four largest meat packing companies control more than 80% of the beef processing in the United States. The attorneys general say beef prices are exceptionally high as people stockpile the meat due to COVID-19. But cattle prices, they say, are low. North Dakota is co-sponsoring the request with Colorado, Missouri, and Montana. They were joined by Arizona, Idaho, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Wyoming. In an exclusive interview, a family is blaming a Moorhead long-term care facility for their mom's COVID-19 diagnosis as she clings to life on her ventilator. 65-year-old Karen Haroldson was taken to a Moorhead rehab and health care center a few months ago. Her family says she was recovering from hip replacement surgery, but they say the facility put her in a room where someone else had COVID-19. Her mom ended up getting it, and now she's currently in the ICU at Sanford in Fargo.
She went from eating and drinking and talking to completely being on a ventilator within hours.
The facility refuses to speak on camera or provide numbers, but it does tell us in a statement it is monitoring and screening residents as well as limiting visitors. One of 3 fire stations in Grand Forks is closed. Fire Station 5 is closed for cleaning. However, the service area for Station 5 will be taken care of by Stations 1 and 3. Now, the reason Station 5 is closed is due to a firefighter testing positive for COVID-19. That firefighter worked last Thursday. 2 other firefighters who work closely with the positive case are on a 14-day self-quarantine. And with that, we take a look at the coronavirus numbers on a state level. Cass County continues to have the highest number at 643 confirmed cases. Grand Forks County now has the second highest number of confirmed cases at 270. There are 41 more cases confirmed today in North Dakota. More than 36,000 people have been tested in the state. There are about 1,266 positive COVID-19 cases confirmed. 559 people have recovered. 31 people are currently hospitalized. It's our goal to bring you accurate reporting during the pandemic, and the state of North Dakota has made a change in explaining and reporting North Dakota COVID-19 deaths. The change has come after questions from our news team. The state now breaks down the death total into people who died from the coronavirus and those who died with it. The health department says that of the 25 coronavirus deaths, 17 were due to the virus. 2 were caused by something other than COVID-19, and the other 6 death records are still pending for an official cause. Meanwhile, the state of Minnesota has not broken down its numbers. We've left a message for the Department of Health, but we have not heard back from them. Looking at Minnesota's numbers, the State Health Department is announcing 623 new cases. It brings the state's total to 7,857. 27 more people have died for a total of 455 deaths. 368 of those deaths were people living in a nursing home or long-term care facility. 4,614 people have listed as recovered. Also today, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signed an executive order to allow elective surgeries. Doctors, dentists, and veterinarians who develop a plan to keep patients and healthcare professionals safe will be allowed to offer procedures that treat chronic conditions, prevent and cure disease, and relieve chronic pain. That starts next week. Hospitals, surgery centers, and clinics will be allowed to resume procedures once criteria has been made for which procedures should happen during the pandemic. The order is effective once it is approved by the Minnesota Executive Council. The money continues to come in, and for that we are grateful, but we aren't there yet. I'm talking about our virtual food drive to help out the Great Plains Food Bank. Our goal currently stands at $30,000, and we are just over $24,000. Now, for those of you who have already donated, thank you very much. We're still collecting until May 22nd, so if you'd like to help out, check out valleynewslive.com, the VNL News app, and look for this button.
All right, showers are finally wrapping up after 2 days of soggy weather, particularly along the South Dakota border. Still some rain out there yesterday and today, and things finally quieting down here in the FM area. So quite a bit of rain made its way through the region. And as we take a look at the rainfall from today, estimates for the 24-hour period showing some greens in here. That's over a half of an inch just north of the FM area. Down in northeast South Dakota in the Sisseton Hills, some enhanced rainfall totals where there's yellows. That would be over an inch. So take the 2 days, lump them together, and a 48-hour look at rainfall potential estimated by Doppler radar. We did see some areas in orange. That's 2+ inches in those places. A lot or widespread area got 1 or more inches of rain, including much of Cass County and near central Grand Forks County as well. Speaking of Grand Forks, here's a look at the Home of Economy camera, our sky cam there, showing a little bit of a breeze out there, but the skies have actually been clearing, sidewalks drying in the Northern Valley as we're seeing that clearing trend moving from north to south. Just a couple of blips left on the radar screen, and that is about all. 46 at Hector. It's 48 for the airport out in Moorhead right at this hour. We have a northwest wind blowing at 7 miles per hour. Take a look at these temperatures. Everyone in the 40s out there as we look across the region. Some low 40s in Badette and Jamestown. And thanks to the cloud cover here in the Southern Valley, we're going to slowly see temperatures fall into the upper 30s and low 40s. Up to the north, though, near the international border, because it's clearer for longer, your heat can escape right out to outer space. I would not be surprised to see a temperature very close to freezing first thing on your Wednesday morning. Hey, we'll have a north breeze, 5 to 15 miles per hour through the morning. Pretty nice conditions and a lot more sun than the last 2 days, as you can tell there by the lack of clouds. Hit and miss sprinkles, mainly out to the west for the afternoon, with temperatures that will be much warmer than the past 2 days, but still below average for this time of the year. The evening looks very quiet with decreasing clouds and wind. Here's a look at your hometown forecast tomorrow afternoon, snapshot at 5 o'clock. Oaks, 60 degrees. Sisseton and Fargo joining you at that reading. 57 in Devil's Lake, 55 for Roseau and Bemidji. 57 with Lakes Country, near 60 for both Fergus, Falls, and Detroit Lakes. Now out to the west yesterday, so many red sky photos out there. That was from the morning showers at sunrise. Tasha capturing that in Marion. I've got some cold news for you folks. That the next 7 days look to be pretty chilly, but tomorrow will be the warmest of the next several days. It'll be a little breezy from the north. 60 degrees in Fargo. Back down into the 50s for Thursday and Friday as we close the week cool. Sprinkles on Saturday will bring some cool air into the area. And don't be surprised if Saturday night and into Sunday morning, a couple of flakes of snow mix in. We're going to keep our eyes on that, but at least one of the models is showing that potential. Monday, 40s, Mike. So not bad. We'll get some greening going on here over the next several days, thanks to today and yesterday's buckets of rain.
Turn the model off that talks about snow. Will you just shut it completely off?
Okay, we'll do that. Pull the plug.
All right, thanks. Good news is Bison Football will remain right here during the upcoming football season. Great Television, North Dakota State Athletics, and Bison Sports Properties have announced that KVLY and the rest of the NBC North Dakota network will remain the home of the herd. North Dakota State Director of Athletics, Matt Larson, says he's happy to continue the relationship.
I think the biggest value and the greatest thing for us is to be able to deliver football coverage to such a huge map and such a huge audience. That's huge for us, and it's been huge for recruiting. It's been huge for the fan base, and something that I'm looking forward to building upon again this year.
Valley News Live Vice President and General Manager Ike Walker says KVLY is proud to once again be the home for NDSU football. He says we look forward to bringing Bison Nation another exciting season. Still ahead tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10, the percent of coronavirus tests returning positive can be a sign how a state is dealing with the current pandemic. We'll explain the numbers next.